Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is William Heinman, your host, and this is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job or they completely and totally screw the pooch on it. Hey, guys, this one here is from the Civil Rights Lawyer. It's John Bryan. Go check him out. His information will be down below. He does a lot of good videos, a lot of good information. He's an attorney. If you would, while you're here, hit the little bell icon so you know when I put out a new video. Hit the like and share and the thumbs up, the thumbs down. Let me know how I'm doing. Leave a comment if you would. I've been missing my comments lately, but that's okay. And go over to Mr. Bryant's channel. Tell him I sent you if you haven't already been there, and subscribe to him and see what you think. This one here is about never, ever open the door to a police officer. Now, I hate to say that because there's a lot of good police officers out there, but the scumbags are ruining it for everybody else. These tyrannical moron cops with IQs less than 20 bust into people's houses, or they're invited in, and then they take advantage. Okay? It happened in New York. It cost New York's taxpayers $4.7 million, I think it was, with the one gentleman who called because or somebody called on him because they thought he was going to hurt himself. Okay, he invited him in. They started looking around his house. He goes, "What the hell are you doing? You can't look around my house. We're making sure it's safe. Officer safety, officer safety." No, what it is officer cowardness. Has nothing to do with officer safety. It's officer cowardness. Because you little bitches in blue have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Brainwashed by your union that it's the most dangerous job on the planet. No, it's not. You don't believe me? Go to the OSHA's website. Look. It's like 37 or 38. If you look real hard, you can find a couple, or you can find one website that'll put you guys at 22. But most of them are between 30 and 50. That's how hard your job is. Because it's terrible. It's terrible because you guys make it that way. The way you act when you misbehave, misconduct, and just being a regular butthead. Do your job, do it right, or turn your badge or your gun in and go find another job. Because we don't need you. You're scumbags. And we're tired of scumbags. We're tired of paying your bill. You step on people's rights, you hurt people, and we have to pay for it. Young man in California just passed away. That 3 sheriffs pile drive this guy's head into the concrete. And he did nothing. Not a thing. Well, we thought he did. If you guys had a thought, you'd be dangerous. Because most of you guys couldn't find your ass with both hands grabbing it. Sitting on your hands. You couldn't find your ass. That's how sad this is. And I'm not anti-cop. I'm really not. But you guys have me so wound up because you can't do your job and do it correctly. You act like a bunch of punks. A bunch of cowards. Yeah, I said it, cowards. Little sissy cowards. It's like those jerk-offs that we had in high school. Those bullies. You know, in my high school, we had 2 guys that were in wrestling. You know how many bullies we had in our school? None. Because they wouldn't allow them. If they found you picking on somebody smaller than you, they put you in a pile drive. Oh. So, you clowns out there keep saying, "Oh, it's the most dangerous job. We just don't know what to do." Your job? You're not militarized, even though you want to be, because I'm a big bad cop. I got a gun and a badge. Pussy. Coward pussy. All right, I'm done ranting and raving, hopefully. Check this video out. You'll see what I'm saying. We'll talk more at the end. Maybe. Here we go, guys. Oh, get me wound up.
Please, I got.
Do you mind if I just pull that off you for our safety?
No, I do not. I do not agree for that.
Well, we're not going to sit here with you with a gun on you.
Well, then you can leave.
No, we're here.
Then
we need
you
to
can
talk.
leave.
No.
This is
See, once again, he's told, you can leave. No, we're here now. We're a bunch of pussies. We're scared of your gun. You might grab it and use it. You guys have guns. You have OC spray. You have tasers. But you're pussies. Little bitty baby pussies.
This is how it started when cops showed up at this guy's house just to ask him a few questions.
Oh, we just need to talk to you about some stuff real quick. Officer Bugman, Legal Police, I spoke to you the other night about the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is how it ended when he made the terrible decision to allow them inside his home.
Get out of here!
We're not leaving.
No, what are you charging me with?
There's no reason for people to continue making
How many times do you have to be told to get out of someone's house? You think that you're a god? You think you're better than everybody else because you have a badge? Hey, dumbass, you're a public servant. Yeah, public servant.
this mistake.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Sorry.
you step outside for me?
No.
I'm going to talk to you for a second.
Let me put my weapon up.
Hey.
I'll put my shit up.
Okay, I understand. I just need to see. No, don't.
Hands up.
Do not reach for it, okay?
It's up.
Cops show up at this guy's house to ask him questions about an alleged social media threat. They don't have a warrant. They just say they want to talk and ask if they can come in. The homeowner, who is lawfully armed with a pistol, says yes and invites them in.
Gun owners know that total concealment of your firearm is a tactical advantage. It gives you the power and...
Okay.
And I had to put it away. You guys were creeping the out of me.
No. I know. We just need to talk to you about some stuff real quick.
No.
You remember Officer Bugman, Legal Police? I spoke to you the other night about the picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are creeping the out of me.
Well, sorry. We just need to talk about something real quick.
What do you
okay?
want?
Ready to come inside?
Yeah, come on in.
Okay. Just don't reach for your gun,
I
okay?
ain't gonna reach for
Don't let him in.
I was reaching for it because y'all were freaking
Okay.
creeping out of me.
Yeah, I just don't stand in front of. We don't stand in front of doors, okay?
Well, I don't either. I was a medic 14 years.
But once they come inside, at his invitation, they then say they're going to disarm him while they have this discussion with him. He says, no, in that case, you can leave my house. But they
And you have no right because of the Second Amendment to disarm him.
refuse.
Come on in. Close the door, please. I got.
Do you mind if I just pull that off you for our safety?
No, I do not. I do not agree for that.
Well, we're not going to sit here with you with a gun on you.
Well, then you can leave.
No, we're here.
Then
we
you
need
can
to
leave.
talk. No.
They forcibly seize him, handcuff him, detain him, disarm him.
I'm in my home. You cannot.
Yeah, they disarm him. This guy sues the cops. Guess who has to pay for it? It's not these blue faggots. No, it's the taxpayers. The taxpayers have to pay because these little pussies in blue can't do their job correctly as a public servant.
Not do anything about this. I do not consent to any search or seizures. Second or Fourth Amendment.
Okay, that's fine.
Nope.
So we're trying to talk to him, and he doesn't want to. We're trying to explain to him, okay?
This is illegal detainment. Illegal detainment.
So now that we're here, okay, do you remember when you called the sheriff's office?
And I told you exactly what happened, and
Okay.
you all did all.
That's a different thing, okay?
Get out of here.
We're not leaving. You called somebody today, did you not? And there were other comments that were made. We wanted to see what your side of the story was, okay? And that's what we wanted to do when we came in the door. At any point in time, do you remember making any threats down there to that pastor?
Oh, I said I will burn that whole city down legally.
No, what are you charging me with?
Again, they did not have a warrant. Can they do that? This happened in Moweaqua, Illinois. Not sure if that's how you pronounce that, but Illinois is in the 7th Federal Circuit. And it just so happens that there was a recent opinion out of the Seventh Circuit from 2023 in a case called United States versus Banks that went something like this. The Springfield, Illinois Police Department saw this guy's Snapchat post. Jeremy Banks, he was barbecuing on his front porch, and he had a gun sitting on his grill's side shelf. Because Banks was a convicted felon, the officers needed nothing more than to just request a warrant to go arrest the guy for unlawful gun possession. Because he was a felon, they knew he was a felon, but they skipped that step, and instead, they just went straight to Mr. Banks's house. They walked onto his porch, and then after a tussle, arrested him in his family room of his home without a warrant. The Seventh Circuit said that the Fourth Amendment did not permit the shortcut, as the Supreme Court has held in no uncertain terms that a front porch, part of a home's so-called curtilage, receives the same protection as the home itself. And in the home itself, we have the right to be secure in our homes from unreasonable search and seizures by the government. At the very core of that protection, the Supreme Court has emphasized stands the right of a man to retreat into his own home and to there be free from unreasonable governmental intrusion. They've also said that measuring the strength of the Fourth Amendment, the home is first among equals. So no matter whether you're on your front porch or inside your home, even if law enforcement saw you on Snapchat committing a crime, or thinks you made some threat online, or thinks you committed any crime, they can't just come arrest you on your front porch or inside your home. Law enforcement officers must have a warrant to enter, unless one of the few limited exceptions apply. The exceptions allow warrantless entry to the front porch or the home when, for example, exigent circumstances exist, such as to render emergency aid or to prevent the imminent destruction of evidence or to engage in the hot pursuit of a fleeing felon. Or, and this is a big one, when the resident consents to entry. But if they don't have a warrant, and they don't have exigent circumstances, and they don't have consent, they can't come in, or they can't even go on to your front porch. They can't arrest you, even if they know for a fact that you committed a crime. They have to go get a warrant. The only other thing that law enforcement can do is engage in what's called a knock and talk. And that's exactly the legal footing of what these officers here were doing, is they have the same right that a door-to-door salesman would have, or the UPS guy, or a Girl Scout selling cookies would have, which is an implied license to come onto your property and approach your front door and knock and see if the resident inside will consensually engage in a conversation. There's no seizure. Now, this is something that I featured many, many times in videos. This is a central component of interactions between people and law enforcement, just right at the front door. Here are some well-known examples that I've featured. This police officer showed up at this woman's home without a warrant. He said he wanted to make sure that her daughter was okay. When she asked for a warrant, he forced his way inside the house.
Park City is a place where you can ski and ride through an endless snow globe.
Do you have a warrant?
No.
That's illegal. Excuse me, you cannot force your way into my home.
The footage of this shocked a judge who dismissed the criminal charges and laid an epic smackdown on this officer.
Mr. Curtis had zero respect for the Constitution, for which he took an oath and swore to uphold. And quite frankly, I was appalled. I've never seen a video like that.
That police officer.
Did you hear that, what she said? You did not follow the oath that you took to the Constitution. Wow, really? I mean, like most cops? All bad cops are the same way. They're thugs. Doesn't mean all cops, just the bad ones, the scumbags.
Officer resigned, but then he was hired somewhere else, and after a few months, he got fired from there.
Okay. You're inside of my house.
Let me tell you why I'm right here.
Because you walked in.
No, because they opened the door and ran from me.
And
that's
I'm
why.
telling you, I am the adult
and I'm
here.
telling
This
you
is my home.
that now that I'm inside your house, I own your house right
No,
now.
you do not.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What
I know my rights.
I don't care if you know your rights.
And I'm telling you, my dog will bite you if I tell her to bite you. So
Tell
I'm
your dog to
asking
bite
you to back
Tell
up.
your dog to bite
and I will talk to you outside.
I'm not going to talk to you outside.
What the do you want? What the do you want in This is my home, bro. You're in my house.
I am telling
You're
you.
in my house. Don't do that. You're in my house. I didn't touch you, her. Did I touch you?
Just wanted to let you know that the trailer is legally parked, so I need to see your driver's license so I can issue a citation for blocking the roadway. Hey, I'm investigating a traffic crime. You do not have the right to do that. You are detained.
Richard, he's he's always doing stuff like this. This guy's just trying to learn. Richard was blocking the road. He does stuff like this all the time.
Oh, I'm very familiar with
I'm
Mr.
sure you
McMahon.
are,
Yeah. So I get here and he's got his little four-door car blocking the entire cul-de-sac, and he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, Richard's a prick," and I'm like, "Yep, he is." It would bring me great pleasure if we could take Richard McMahon to jail tonight. I was just going to see what all traffic charges I have on Richard. Illegal parking probably would be my guess. He's a narcissist with nothing better to do. McMahon. I hate this guy. I hate Richard McMahon. Oh, I'll stand back and let you guys take care of it. I just think he's a bag.
Well, the city of Broken Arrow did decide to fire Officer Michael Ferguson.
Well, Broken Arrow Police Sergeant Michael Ferguson has been fired after that incident, and this comes after an internal investigation on the arrest you just saw.
As I explained in the prior video, he seems to have missed something rather important at the police academy. If they're going to arrest a guy, why can't they just go arrest him? Well, he's inside his house. According to the U.S. Supreme Court, police officers cannot arrest you when you're inside your house unless they have a warrant. That's Peyton versus New York. I think it was 1980. They have to have an arrest warrant. All police officers can do without a warrant is walk up to the door, just like a Girl Scout selling cookies, knock on the door, and see if the man will just consensually have this encounter and not demand that they leave his property, in which case they would have to.
That footage and the investigation was ultimately reviewed by the Broken Arrow City Manager's Office, who ultimately decided to terminate Ferguson's employment with the city of Broken Arrow. Now, Broken Arrow Police Department say they are not making any further comment at this time on the incident. Reporting live from Broken Arrow, Mackenzie Richmond for Good Day, Oklahoma.
I'm going to jail. Yes. Can I provide my ID?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's do it. I'm not giving you my ID.
All right, turn up, put your hands behind your back.
This is ridiculous.
Hey, turn up, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
I need to put my shoes on.
I didn't ask for
Wait a minute, don't you put your hands on me like that.
Hold on.
You don't push my son.
Whoa, hold on.
The arresting officer in this case has a clean record with our department, but he made a mistake in this case on February the 23rd. He has been disciplined for failing in his duty to know the law. On behalf of the city of Andalusia and the Andalusia Police Department, I would like to apologize to Ms. Twyla Stallworth for her arrest here in February. All charges against Ms. Stallworth are being dropped.
So this happens all the time, and how do we account for the disparity where in the initial case that we watched, as far as I know, those charges are still pending against the guy. Those officers weren't fired or disciplined in any way. And then you have the other cases where you have judges just saying that this is a shocking display of a civil rights violation caught on video, and we're going to fire the officer, and we have apologies. Well, what is the difference? Well, the guy in the first video, once things went down inside his house, he was invoking his rights and yelling and screaming. He was very defiant and demanding that they leave, but he had initially invited them in. They had no warrant. They had no exigent circumstances. They had to convince him to authorize them to enter the house. And that's exactly what happened for some reason. I think a lot of people don't understand when the cops show up at your door, it can be very intimidating. There's multiple officers. They're in uniform. They're armed. They don't have an obligation to tell you that, yeah, we're just here on a consensual basis. You can ask us to leave at any time. You can revoke your consent for us to be on the property. You don't have to answer any questions. You don't have to allow us in the house. And if you do allow us in the house, we may disarm you once we're in there. We may look around for something incriminating and arrest you without a warrant, seize things. They don't have to advise you of these things. So this is an investigational tactic that is widespread and used by law enforcement, where they don't have the evidence to get a warrant yet, but they're trying to get the evidence. That's why they want to talk to you. That's why they want to gain entry into your house. Nothing good is going to come from allowing law enforcement in your house. You have the right to stay inside your house and ask them to leave. You have the right to not answer the door in the first place. You have the right to not answer any questions. You can read cases all day long of people who are in federal prison because they answered the door, because they consented to officers entering the home. And once you consent to something, it can be very, very difficult, if not impossible, to undo it, to revoke that consent. It gets legally very complicated at that point. Now, that being said, there are still many limitations on law enforcement's behavior. And I do think that in this initial video, that law enforcement still violated this guy's rights. For consent to actually work as an exception to the warrant requirement, it has to be voluntary. It can't be coerced. So cops can't do anything like above and beyond just what anyone else could do. So Girl Scouts don't arrive in numbers and one hide around the corner and then tell you to keep your hands where we can see them when you answer the door. So it's still, I think, past that threshold, in my opinion, to where a reasonable person might think that they're being detained or forcibly seized at that point and aren't really voluntarily consenting to the officers coming in. They feel like they don't have any choice. I think that's sort of the situation we have here. Even if he did consent, he did not consent to, what are you consenting to? He did not consent to being frisked. He did not consent to being disarmed. He didn't consent to an arrest, but he did open the door to this gray area that resulted in him being dragged, kicking and screaming across his yard. So understand your rights and make sure your children, your grandchildren, whatever, make sure that they understand their rights as well. And you don't have to be a criminal to assert your rights. Anytime the government is showing up at your door and you didn't call them, somebody else called them on you, you may not have anything to gain by allowing them into your house or answering their questions, but you certainly would have a lot to lose. Politely invoke your rights first and seek legal counsel. And though some of these issues seem simple, it gets more and more complicated. So subscribe and follow along, and we'll go through all of them. Also subscribe to my blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can also join the discussion with me on X at John Bryan ESQ, also called The Civil Rights Lawyer there, because our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Okay, so these cowards in blue, scumbag cops who don't follow the law because they're sovereign citizens. They have qualified immunity because they're sovereign citizens. And they think that they don't have to follow the law because they're sovereign citizens. You know, the thin blue line is a crock of crap. Their blue shield they hide behind, you know, and it's all a facade. You know, oh, we're going to reform. No, you're not. You guys are a bunch of thugs. And until the good cops grow a set of balls to get you clowns out of there, they're going to get the same color, unfortunately. And there's some really good cops out there. And unfortunately, they're afraid to say anything because of reprisal. The union will get mad at me. Who gives a crap? If your union is that corrupt, you want to be a part of that? Guys, let me know what you think in the bottom, down in the comments. Go over to Mr. Bryant's channel and check him out. I think he does a really, 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 really good job. So actually, there's 3 sites that my girl watches, and Mr. Bryant's one of them. Jeff Gray's the other one. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you again on another one. Thank you, and be safe.